Did you call bank? I call game.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Charge It to the Game Sports Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Rome. Got Z in the house. What's good, Z?
What's up? Schedule week. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Schedule week, NFL schedule's been released. So I guess the leaks, some of them were true, some of them were not.
The drip drop of the schedule. Did you notice how they did that throughout the day? Like
did.
It's a classified information. They're leaking game by game.
They were doing a lot with it, man. I mean, the whole, spurts and what's the who's going to play where and who and what. I mean, we got a great episode for you guys today. So as you can see, Jay's not joining us today. He's not here. He's actually a hardworking guy. He's wrapped up in some other stuff. He'll be joining us on the next episode. But before we get started, guys, if you're on the YouTube page, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a few comments. Kid Sam, I see you, man. I see you jumping in with the bets and some of the topics. So continue to keep chiming in. And then if you're listening to us on the podcast platforms, whether they be Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave the 5-star ratings, reviews, any comments, anything like that. And then actually on Monday's show, we got a special guest for you guys. North Dakota State's own linebacker Aaron Mercadel is going to be joining us. He's going to be talking and chatting with us about his experience playing for North Dakota State, winners of the last few national championships at that level. And then obviously he's played with Trey Lance and the other gentleman, the offensive lineman that just got drafted from the Tennessee Titans. And what was it like playing for the head coach down there?
So a lot of success, a lot of wins.
A lot of success. It follows him everywhere. So shout out to him. Looking forward to have you on the show this upcoming Monday. But Z, let's hop right into it, man. So let's chat about the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. As you can see, we got the jerseys on today. I'm repping my Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then Z's representing his
future Hall of Famer Hines Award.
He is a future Hall of Fame, a great player, solid blocker, just great all-around receiver, man. But this schedule, man, they did not do you guys any type of justice. They just threw the book at you guys, man.
Yeah. It's we get used to it now. For the 7th straight year, we start the year on the road again. They never give us a home game to start the season. 7th year in a row, the Steelers open on the road at Buffalo.
But why? Like, why do they continue to sit there and I just don't understand that. That's just ridiculous. You would think they would do every other year or something like that. My biggest,
This would be the 7th year in a row.
Yeah,
and it's the worst thing because if you start 0-1, and then, I mean, on the glass half full, at least the next 2 games are at home. So they start off on the road at Buffalo, and then they got Raiders, Cincinnati at home.
Yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. This week 1 game, man. Big game right out the gate. You guys are playing Buffalo on the road. Looks like it's a 1 p.m. game. I mean, tell me, Z. So, how you feeling about this game, man? I mean, you got them early on in the season, so
it changed from last year because we went to Buffalo late in the season last year, at the worst time with COVID issues, and had the stretch of 3 games in 11 days, which was.
That was brutal.
Absurd.
Yeah.
Played a Wednesday afternoon game.
That's ridiculous. Why did they have to make up that game again? What was it? Something with COVID?
COVID, right? The Ravens. Yeah, Ravens had 21 players, so they wanted to wait. The key was the league did that for Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson had to get through COVID protocols.
Oh, that's what he did have COVID, yeah.
Yeah, so he had to get through the 5-day protocol. The 5th day was going to be on Wednesday, and then he still didn't play. They pushed the game back to Wednesday, and then he still wasn't feeling well. So they went with RG3 anyway. So they could have still played the game on Monday.
Yeah.
But, hey, tough game. and then they had to follow that up with Sunday night at Buffalo, which is crazy.
Right.
I mean, it's just
This week one. This week.
Week one's gonna be good. Week one is gonna be good. I mean, I'm fired up for that game because it's a good test. It's early in the season, so for Steeler advantage, maybe the stadium won't be full in Buffalo.
Man, no, that stadium is going to be full.
It may be full with Steeler fans because it's not a long drive.
Bills Mafia, stand up, man. I mean, I know you guys travel well, though. You guys do. I will say this:
we take over stadiums.
In the games that I've went to, you'll always see a random. I'll go to a Washington game since I'm here in the Maryland area. I'll see a random. They're not even playing the Steelers. Like, why are you wearing your Steelers gear to a Washington game? You know what I mean? Like, but you guys do travel well, so I mean, you guys will have a presence. But I'm going to tell you, like, Bills Mafia now, they're out there. They're out there jumping through tables.
So what teams do now, if they have the Steelers on the schedule, to get the tickets for the Steeler game, you have to buy 3 other tickets, 3 games for 3 other games. And so the Chargers did that a couple years ago, and the Steelers still had 95% of the stadium. They said if you want to get tickets for the Steeler game, they picked their other 3 worst games, and they said you need to buy tickets for them to playing the scrubs on their schedule to have the chance to buy tickets against the Steelers, trying to keep us Steeler Nation out of their stadium. But when the game started, I'll say 99% of the fans were Steeler fans out there.
Pretty much. You know how that is, though. I mean, LA, I mean, they're not really football fans out there. I mean, there's some of them, especially with the Rams and stuff. But this week one game, I mean, tell me, how are you guys going to beat Buffalo, man?
Steelers. So it's going to be offense is going to be the key. Preseason is going to be very important. I hope they play Ben a little bit more in preseason. Traditionally, he doesn't play a lot in the preseason. Mm-hmm. I think this year to gain some continuity.
Preseason.
Yeah. So to gain, I mean, and then they also have the Hall of Fame game. So they play Dallas in the Hall of Fame.
Oh
game.
Yeah, they had to reschedule that from last year, right?
Yeah. So that should be the extra game for them. But the key for the Steelers is going to be offensive line, defensive line. Buffalo is super stout on the offensive line and the defensive line. That's where they
got Josh Allen. I mean, you got Stephen Diggs. I mean, I just hope those guys are ready.
Diggs went crazy last game, and so that he destroyed Nelson. I mean, he beat him bad.
You guys got nobody for him.
No, we got rid of Nelson, so at least it'll be somebody else.
We'll see who this other person is.
I mean, that have to be Joe Hayden. We'll see how he does.
Yeah,
and then they got depth. They got a lot of young depth. At the corner spot. So with young depth, that means young problems. So especially beginning of the season. So that Diggs will have me a little nervous. And then offensive line and defensive line is going to be key. You'll know 10 minutes into the game what kind of game it's going to be.
I just think with Najee Harris, man, I mean, they drafted the kid for a reason, man. I mean, if the offensive line is solid, Najee Harris is going to be a great back in NFL. Especially with, like I said, I don't know how much longer he's going to play. If he plays for maybe a 3,
No, I think this is his last year.
Oh, really?
I think.
Okay.
I think he's done after this year.
Yeah.
And so
they did give him a weapon. I mean, Najee Harris, downhill back, big back. I mean, they were missing that. James Conner's going. I think week one. I think you
new
guys.
Offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I see that being a toss up, man. That's a tough one. I wish you luck on that one, brother. And then
it's good to have him week one because week one, all the kinks.
Well, everybody's fresh. Yeah, you don't got to worry about injuries. Everybody's gonna be fresh. I mean, it'll be a dogfight.
I don't think we'll have another 11-0 start, but Steelers are good starting out the season.
Yeah, I don't see that either, bro. Let's talk about week 2, man. So I mean, week 2, you're at Jay's Las Vegas Raiders. Jay,
I'm already penciling a win there at home. Week 2.
Oh, yes.
That's
I'm sorry, Jay, man. I mean, you're the Raiders, bro. You're playing.
So that's the gift of Steelers. So the trade off from starting on the road with the tough game at Buffalo, the next 2 at home. So they got Vegas and Cincinnati at home, which should be good for them. actually the next 4 out of 5 at home. So if the
Yeah.
Steelers can win that Buffalo game, I mean, they'll have home to Vegas, home to Cincinnati, at Green Bay against Jordan Love, and then Denver and Seattle. So
Yeah. So I mean, I like that. So after you guys get over the Buffalo game, you guys do got a little leeway. So you play
next 4 out of 5 at
Vegas.
home.
Yeah, you play Vegas. I mean, at home, and then you play the Bengals. I mean, you're probably gonna beat the Bengals. The Bengals are much improved. I will say that.
Yeah, they Steelers never lose them in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
never, ever.
But then you got Green Bay. So you're at Green Bay. You got them early in the season. We don't know if Aaron Rodgers is gonna be
Jordan Love. Is it gonna be Jordan Love?
If it's Jordan Love, you guys beat the shit out of him. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. But if it's Aaron Rodgers, you guys might be taking that L, or it'll be a close game. That's just my opinion on it.
So that, and then Denver at home, Seattle at home, 2 West Coast teams.
Denver's an easy one.
Aaron Rodgers with Denver. They look at
if he goes
right
to
after
Denver,
Green Bay.
I'm just basing it off as it stands right now. If Aaron Rodgers stays in Green Bay, Denver's the easy win. I mean, you guys got enough to beat Teddy Bridgewater.
So
I would probably,
I mean, even look at it this way. So they get through Buffalo. The next 3 out of 4 teams at home are West Coast teams with long trips into Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
So Vegas is coming all the way to Pittsburgh with 1 o'clock game. And then they got Denver coming all the way to Pittsburgh, 1 o'clock game.
That's Seattle game, though.
It's a night game, yes. So Seattle's at night. But yeah. I'd rather have them at home than
Seattle. You much have. I mean, and the thing is with Seattle's so hot and cold, right? Seattle, they're one of those teams where when they're good, they look like the best team in the league. But when they're bad, and then when they're off, and Russell does all this crazy stuff, they lose. And they haven't done anything to help out with their offensive line. They just keep drafting receivers and offensive weapons. So I don't know what's wrong with them. I think you guys, beat them at home possibly.
And then it's the bye at the perfect time. I mean,
that's the bye you wanted, right?
Oh yeah, because last year they didn't have a bye.
Yeah.
I mean, because Tennessee had COVID, so they had to move that game around and take our bye.
Yeah.
Oh,
I saw the stuff out there on Twitter and stuff. I mean, Steelers fans were hating life then. I mean, I understand it because you didn't have a bye week technically,
and it had nothing to do with the Steelers. And then the worst thing is,
did they compensate them? They should have paid them guys or something.
No. So then, and then the worst was it's the Ravens, and the Ravens strength coach who didn't believe in COVID, never wore a mask, is the one who got COVID and got everybody who was lifting weights COVID as well.
Stupid.
And because of that, the Steelers had to mess everything up, and the schedule got messed up. I mean, they had to play Washington in the middle of the week. They had to play Baltimore in the middle of the week. And they went right after that to go to Buffalo and play Buffalo. I mean, it was
that's a mess. You know what I mean? But the thing is, like I said, that was the turning point of your guys' season because you were red hot once all that COVID started kicking in and injuries. Yeah. I mean, you guys were you lost to Washington and then
then the worst thing though, the injuries. How did that 3 games in 11 days affect injuries? Because right after that, Bud Dupree went down, and then the offensive line went down, then defensive line went down, and then the corners got injured, and then here comes
things just spiraled out of control. Yeah,
and 11-0 is a long distant forgotten memory at that time.
Because you guys were firing on all cylinders early in the season. I will say that because
they were winning. They were winning. They still have.
I'll give you this. You guys were 11. You guys did not have a really incredibly tough schedule. You guys did play some guys. I think you guys beat Tennessee. They weren't the greatest teams in the league, but you still. I mean, 11-0 is 11-0.
Yeah, so, NFL teams. I mean, and so that's why. Glass half full for this season. Everybody's screaming, "It's a tough schedule! It's a tough schedule." If they want to go, if Steelers want to go to the Super Bowl, you're going to have to play these teams anyway.
You're going to have to, yeah. But the thing is, the Steelers can play ball if they have a running game. If they have a running game like I think they do this year, I think they're going to be a problem. Because I mean, in my opinion, in the AFC, I think we saw this today. Z, I mean, Kansas City's making moves. They made a move for a corner or something. Kansas City, you can make all the moves you want. I'm telling you, the book is out on you guys, man. I mean, the
last 4 games are gonna be tough. Last 4 games, I mean, Tennessee at Kansas City, Cleveland at Baltimore is how they end the season.
In my opinion, in the AFC, I think, and I'm not even saying it because you're here, but I think it's going to be Buffalo and Pittsburgh, but in the AFC Championship in some way, form, or fashion, or the two best teams in the
Music
AFC.
to my ears. Cleveland is going to be tough. Cleveland got.
I will say that. Let's look back at the schedule, man. So you after the bye week 8, you guys play Cleveland at Cleveland.
Yeah,
man. So that's the first of the 2 matchups. So tell me about that game, man. That's going to be a nice little.
I like it. We get a bye before we go there.
It's fresh off a bye too. So I mean, it doesn't have to happen at a better time because, especially after what happened last season, you guys are going to be thinking about that. It's going to be chalkboard talk. Mike Tomlin digging into these guys. Big Ben remembers that. I mean, the whole organization remembered that. I mean, for God's sakes, I remember that because I lost big dollars on that. You know what I mean? So I hope you guys
that was brutal. I mean, it's a brutal way to end the season. But new offensive coordinator, new offensive line coach, new offensive lineman. So
yeah,
we'll see. I think we'll know quick in the preseason. If Green, the rookie they drafted, it's the center. If he is as good as he looks on tape, he may start as a rookie. I mean,
he probably will, man. I mean, who's going to start over him? What? He's the center.
He's a center.
What round did they draft him?
3rd round.
He'll probably be a starter.
They signed B.J. Finney back, who was Pouncey's backup for 8 years.
He's a backup for 8 years.
Yeah, but
for a reason. Okay?
He was better than the backup they had last year.
Yeah.
That's the only time I missed that guy is when the 3rd guy had to play for the Steelers last year. I'm like, oh man.
What, he got hurt?
No, because
or they let him go or something.
They had to shuffle everything. So basically,
he was playing guard or something.
Well, yeah, okay. Finney left. He took money and went to Cincinnati. He got a huge contract from Cincinnati, and they cut him.
Jesus.
So they overpaid him for a year, and then they cut him after 1 year.
He was a backup for a reason.
Yeah, and then the Steelers got him on a minimum deal to come back.
Right.
But I mean, last year because Pouncey had COVID, so he missed 3 games, and oh my gosh, I mean that was just. Yeah. And another thing I didn't like. I mean, Tomlin is loyal to veterans, but watching every snap of every game, Kevin Dotson, who was a rookie 4th round draft pick, was their best offensive line.
He was. Well, hold up. DeCastro was kind of banged up, right?
He was banged up and down. He made the Pro Bowl on name only. Pouncey made the Pro Bowl on name only. I mean,
he made the Pro Bowl? I didn't know Pouncey made the Pro Bowl.
Yes. Name
Pouncey was
unbelievable.
You guys got to stop that. Watch O-line play because, I mean, Pouncey was not a Pro Bowl O-line.
He threw away the snap first play of the playoff game. Just
I remember. Because I think I missed the first few minutes. And I was like, they scored already? Like, what the hell happened?
Oh, man. He sailed that snap like a long punt over Ben's head. Boom.
That's ridiculous. So, I mean, after Cleveland in week 8, you got Chicago at home week 9. What is that? Monday Night Football, man. Yeah. Monday Night Football at home. Justin Fields? It's Justin Fields. I mean, Matt Nagy, he's really coaching for his job right now. I mean, he's done a decent job considering he's had Mitch Trubisky. I mean, or Trubisky. I mean, he's trash. I mean, Justin. I mean, some shit. I mean, but anyway, I think you guys are gonna be playing Justin Fields. I mean, I just don't think he's a rookie quarterback. I mean, I don't. And then me personally, I never liked Justin Fields like that. I thought he was okay. But to me, he really can't read defenses, and I think that's gonna just hang over his head in the NFL. So I think you guys beat Chicago in week 9, and then after that, you guys got Detroit at home. I mean, in week 10. I mean, Detroit's gonna be a little bit improved. I would say that because they got some more solid pieces on the defensive line, and you saw what they did in the draft with Penny Sewell and the defensive lineman, I think it was Levi. So 2 really solid young guys, staples to the offensive and defensive sides of the ball. But I think you guys beat them. I don't see them putting up much of a fight. I don't got much faith in the Lions head coach.
Biting knees or whatever he said we're going to be biting.
He's just a weird dude, man. Some of these, they gotta start vetting some of these dudes. Look, what the hell are you talking about, guy? Like, what are you talking about?
The Eagles coach. The Eagles coach is another crazy one.
Oh, he's a weird dude. Like it's just privilege. I mean, these guys all know each other. Doesn't the Eagles guy have some type of ties to the organization or something? I mean,
well, he came from Frank Reich, who was at So
it's just a mess. So I mean, you got that, and then after that, so week 11, we'll run through this real quick. So week 11, you got on the road at the Chargers.
Home game.
Home game. Actually, no, it's away game at Chargers.
No, Chargers is always a home game for the Steelers.
I didn't know what you were talking about. I was like, I'm looking right at the schedule, brother. What are you talking about? But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Home away from home.
Yeah. So I think you guys smashed them. And then
it's a chance for all the West Coast Steeler fans to go to a game. That's why all the games on the West Coast have so many Steeler fans, because people who live anywhere from Montana to Arizona to anywhere out west, that's their one chance to go to a Steeler game. So when they play the Chargers, you'll see fans from every state out on the West Coast at that game. Yeah.
So you got that, and then after that, you got Cincinnati at Cincinnati, 1 p.m. game on Sunday. I think you guys beat them barring injuries. And then week 13, Baltimore Ravens, 425, man.
The end of the season is going to be where everything is decided. So, I mean, playoff. So hopefully that they'll be less injured than they were last year. Their offense will run the ball more, so they'll be less predictable. There'll be fans in the stadium, so teams can't hear our calls and know every damn play they're going to run before they run the play. We have a new offensive coordinator. Hopefully he's more creative, so teams
it doesn't throw the ball 10 yards every fucking play. Throw the ball down the field and run the ball. I mean, everybody knew what you guys were doing.
Marlon Humphrey, he had an interview this week, and he said he loved having no fans because he heard Ben telling Claypool and the other rookies what routes to run on the plays. And so he could hear Ben walking over and run a curl, and he'd jump the curl. But he said they never.
But they had no off season. Yeah, they had no off season. So these rookies. I mean, Claypool was a rookie last year, right?
Yes, yeah.
He had no. Just think of this. Claypool had no off season. Yeah, and he did what he did. Dominant. All these rookies. I mean, Joe Burrow and all these other rookies, man. I mean, Justin Herbert. These guys are going to be really good. They had no off-season program. They couldn't be in the building. Chase Young, you know what I mean? I mean, all of these guys, you had no off-season.
Even with the Bucks, Winfield came in as a rookie.
Antoine Winfield Jr. I mean, he what helped him out a lot is because his father played in the NFL. So, I mean, he knows, and he was a former DB too. But, I mean, getting back on track, I mean, so you're after the Ravens game in week 13, so you got a series of games. So you got the Vikings on the road Thursday night. You got I'm looking forward to this Tennessee game in week 15 at 1 o'clock.
I mean, if you recall, they barely won that. The Titans kicker missed the kick at the end of the game to send it to overtime.
Yeah, because you guys beat them, right?
Yeah, we beat them. That was I think the 10th win. After they had COVID and they had to reschedule the game, and then after took our bye week to do that, but then. Steelers had the big lead. Tennessee came storming back, tied the game, or had the chance to tie the game, and then the kicker missed the 20-yard field goal to send it to overtime.
It was in Tennessee, right?
It was in Tennessee.
Was it Corey Davis called some crazy touchdown or something?
Yep.
He mauled somebody in the corner. Oh my God, I remember that. That was a game, man.
Ben threw a pick in the end zone. So they drove it. We're gonna seal the game with 2 minutes left. He threw the pick in the end zone. And then they drove it all the way back to the 30-yard line, and then the kicker missed the field goal to send it over.
I remember that. Oh, my God. Because Tannehill got hot, and then Corey Davis caught it in the corner in the end zone. I mean, that was a great game. So I'm looking forward to that one. Hey, and then check this out. So you got Tennessee in week 15. Week 16, the following week, you got Kansas City on the road.
At Kansas City.
I want to hear your story on this. So tell me about this, man.
Day after Christmas.
It's showtime. Yup. Yeah.
So, I mean, Steelers play Kansas City tough, surprisingly. They over the years, they've always done well with Kansas City. They've struggled with New England.
Even when they had Mahomes, though?
So they only played they only played him once with Mahomes.
Oh, well.
And they won in Pittsburgh. Yeah. But traditionally, they've done well against Andy Reid teams. So that's but the key for Kansas City their defense has normally been weak on most of those teams.
But they're much improved now.
Yeah. So and those teams, I mean, you're talking about teams with AB and Le'Veon Bell. And so that was those teams where the Steelers were scoring 30 a game.
Right.
And so
it's a different story now, man.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I like it that it's the end of the season. So
end of the season. So week 16, you got them. Then you got Cleveland week 17. Monday night at home. I like that game. I might even drive up there for that game, depending on what's going on.
And then at Baltimore.
Baltimore, week 18, something new for you guys. Week 18 game.
So look, here's another glass half full as a Steeler fan. Steelers got an extra home game thanks to the 18th game.
Oh my God, yeah.
Some teams got one more road game. So
they tried to help you guys out, man. They remember what happened last year to you guys. They gave you one more home game.
No, they remember they're starting us on the road for the 7th year in a row.
I've been hearing about this all day on ESPN, NFL. I don't know what they're doing though. That just makes no sense to me. You know what I mean? Especially a historic franchise, one of the top 5 franchises in NFL. You know what I mean?
Seven straight, and then, I mean, I know a lot of times they do it for TV. So
yeah,
Steelers are one of the marquee TV teams, so I understand that.
Right,
but they need to get 1 year to start at home. I mean, 7 in a row on the road. That's extreme.
It is a little crazy. So I mean, before we move on to the Bucs, Z, I mean, out of these games, what do you think your record is? I mean, like I said, I think we were talking and chatting about, do they win over 9 games? Do you think they win 9 games? Looking at it,
yeah. I mean, Tomlin's never had a losing season, so they've never gone less than 8.
Okay.
Steelers are good. It's going to be a weird year. I mean, it's either going to be boom or average. I mean, and it comes down to how the offense is going to do.
If they run the ball,
offensive
run
line.
The damn ball, man. You can't have been throwing 30 times a game, man. Especially at this age.
New system is going to be pretty much shifts, motions. I know Ben doesn't like that stuff, but that's the new offense. So it's going to be shifts, motions, rotations, and it's going to be passing the ball down the field. So it's exciting. I mean, I love it because the offense is when I don't know, when the Steelers are good, they have a balance of run pass. They had an issue with Connor always being hurt, for one,
and he was slow.
Yeah, and then the other backs didn't compliment him. I mean, Benny Snell is slow.
Benny Snell is slow. He's slower than Connor.
Now McFarland is a speed back, but he was a rookie.
He was a rookie. Yeah, he was a rookie. So, I mean,
he's a good third down back.
Yeah.
But now you have the workhorse. So now I feel more confident. I mean, it takes me back to the offense when they had Bell, Brown. I mean, they'll have.
I don't know if it's all that though, but we'll see. But yeah, I see what you're saying though.
Because a key to them is going to be Freiermuth, the second round pick, the tight end, is going to be a sneaky player on this team. Because Ebron had a lot of drops, cost him problems.
Oh, he can't catch. He has hands he has brick hands. I don't know why they even paid him big money.
Deontay Johnson had problems with drops. I mean, Steelers had
a lot of them guys did. I mean, let's go ahead and wrap up. Go ahead.
No, we're gonna know. I mean, first 4 weeks, first quarter of the season, we're gonna know how they go.
Yeah.
And it's all gonna be on the offense. Defense is gonna be solid. Only worry on defense is they have some age on the defensive line. So if somebody gets hurt, it may be a problem depth wise. But I'm not really concerned about the defense. It's the biggest key is gonna be offensive line. If the offensive line can run block and then they can run the ball. No worries to the Steelers. They'll be in contention.
Yeah,
as usual.
Yeah, they'll be in the thick of things when it's all said and done. And
We'll
now,
know quick. We'll know. I mean, we'll know through the preseason. And I'm telling you, first 4 games. By week 4, I'll either have the biggest smile on the show, or I might have
you could be
something.
dread. You could be calling in sick. Hey, hey, I can't make it.
You see me with a glass of bourbon.
Oh my God. Yeah.
We'll know quick.
Let's chat about the Bucks, man. So for the Bucks, man, wow.
Everybody back.
Everybody let me
back.
say this. World champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So week 1, I mean, everybody saw it. I mean, Dallas. So I mean, their opening game,
brought all
opening
their
night.
coaches back. They brought all the front office back.
Oh, the Bucks are back. I mean, like I said, it's just a matter of the Bucks just staying healthy. So I'll run through this with this list that they have in their schedule. So week 1, they got Dallas Thursday night, September 9th.
That's gonna be a fun
open
game.
night. That's gonna be a fun game, man. I want to go so bad, but I look when I looked at tickets. Do you know how much tickets are costing for some non-nosebleed tickets?
Already?
It's like $700-800.
Oh, because of the banner. They're raising the banner.
First
time they're gonna have first time they're really gonna have a full house. So
I mean, man. I mean, I love the Bucks, but I don't know about that one, man. We'll see how things shake out. Maybe I win a few of these sports bets, and we'll see if we can swing that. So they got Dallas week 1. I think I'm penciling that in as automatic W. I mean, for all you Dallas fans, if you really think that you guys can really hang with the big boys, I mean, let's go.
Dallas will be interesting. I mean, they'll have a lot of changes on defense. A lot of young guys. It's gonna be advantage Bucks because teams that have a lot of
they're talking so much. You know how many Dallas fans I know. We even work with a Dallas fan. You know what I mean? Like I just want to talk shit to them all day long. Like I didn't have nothing personal with Dallas before because I'm a Bucks fan. It's like what I have in common. But when y'all start talking shit about the Bucks and talking about you got to come down to Tampa and do all of this and that to my Bucks with Tom Brady, Bruce Arians, Devin White. And Vita Vea and all these boys, come on, man. It's levels to this. So please stop it. But so you got Dallas week 1. Week 2, you got Atlanta. Man, Atlanta's gonna be tough.
At home again. So you start first 2 games at home.
Yeah, it's first. I mean, we're the world champs, man. I mean, come on now.
I mean, I like Atlanta's offense. So they're gonna be a fun team to watch offensively. They're going to have problems defense. So
I mean, we got Atlanta week 2. We get to see what Kyle Pitts looks like. And then week 3, man.
At the Rams.
At the Rams, West Coast game.
Matthew Stafford.
We're gonna see what the Rams are made of, man, because I'm telling you, in my opinion, I think the Bucks' real comp is the Rams. I think the Packers are done. Even if they have Aaron Rodgers, I just think the book's out on them. I'm not really worrying about but the Rams now.
Yeah, they got Raheem Morris as the new defensive coordinator there.
Yeah, and they beat us. The thing is, the Rams beat us last season. I mean, it was a close game, but we did play pretty bad, and then Vita Vea was out. I know a lot of people didn't really,
will they be looking ahead to week 4?
Week 4. I mean, who's week 4? Week 4 is New England. I think these guys. The good thing about the Bucks, they stay motivated. Especially with Tom,
they gotta go.
We do 1 week at a time.
I mean, they're going to LA and then to New England.
That's tough.
With going to Tampa in between, so they're crisscrossing the whole country like a triangle.
Yeah, the NFL just wanted to squeeze this game in there with the New England. So that in that game, it's Tom going back to his own stomping grounds. He's playing New England. He's playing Belichick on a Sunday night game. I mean, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
his dad put out a statement
welcome
today. Did you see the statement his dad put out or something?
No, what did
he was like? We plan on beating the Patriots handily or something.
I know. I saw the Brady's tweet where he said it's like.
The middle school versus elementary school or college or some shit.
Yeah, he said it's my chance to introduce my college friends to some of my high school friends. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I think you sent me that, man. When he sent me that, it lets me know. Like Tom is an amazing. Like he's just so like competitive, man. He's competitive. Like he sees this shit. He's like, okay, you want to do this to me, NFL? Like I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go to New England. I'm gonna beat the shit out of the Patriots. He might even throw 4 touchdowns. Two of them might.
My college friends to my high school friends.
Hey, he might throw 4 touchdowns. 2 of them might go to Gronk. I'm just saying.
Oh man.
So
I did see a thing where Gronk donated a couple $1 million to build playgrounds in Boston.
Yeah, those guys are still well connected there. I mean, that's where they, made their bones, and that's where they're known from. So
it's so crazy because his story was he had knee surgery, and the hospital's across the street from the park, and he said he spent 30 days looking out the window and seeing all the damaged equipment in that park. And so while he said I couldn't move, my leg was in surgery, I'm looking out the window. And that's when he decided he's going to fix up the park across the street.
I like seeing that, though, because like I said, he's seen it firsthand. Because a lot of these guys, they don't see that. You know, they just know what people tell them. So it's good that I mean, it's not good that he was hurt, but it's good that he was,
he even thought like that.
Yeah,
then even though he doesn't even play there anymore, he went back and then gave him a check. I think it was something like $2.5 million.
Wow!
To renovate the park.
Man, that's nice. So, I mean, after they play New England on the road, they have Florida. Miami. I mean, I'm not worrying about Miami now. Like Miami, I mean, you got Tua. Like Tua, that's gonna be if
Miami's got a defense though. They got.
I ain't worrying about that, man. I'm telling you, like Miami, you have Tua. Tua is not a good quarterback. He can't read defenses. If his first read is he's an Alabama quarterback. Especially him, like I don't know what Matt Jones' ceilings is, but Tua cannot read defenses now. I've seen it. If his first read is not open, he's it's curtains. He just runs around and looks stupid. That's why they kept transferring him from Fitzpatrick to Tua and all of that.
Look at the quarterbacks they play back to back, starting with Cam in New England, who's not really a big passing quarterback anymore. Follow that up with Tua. Follow that up with Jalen Hurts. And then follow that up with Chicago, and then follow that up with Taysom Hill.
Jameis Winston. So you got Miami, and then you got Philly
with Jalen Hurts. That's not a great quarterback for that. Bucs defense.
I mean they should beat them. They should beat Philly.
And then Chicago with a rookie quarterback or Andy Dalton.
Right.
And then follow that up with the Jameis Taysom cover. I mean, the list of quarterbacks. I mean, we got
a king schedule. They got a king schedule at that point.
And then they get a bye. They get a bye after they pound on Taysom Hill.
Hold up, man. I mean, you sound like you got some animosity towards my Bucs now. Like,
I'm thinking the Super Bowl champs should have a tough schedule. I'm looking at all these quarterbacks for all these.
We got Tom Brady, brother. We got Tom Brady. This is Tom Brady. They want him to get back to the Super Bowl. And then, you know what I mean?
So after the bye, they come to Washington to take on Fitzpatrick.
Oh no! They take it on him. I'm actually going to go to that game. So I mean, as you know, Z-Man, we live here locally. I'm definitely going to that. So that's going to be a fun game to go to and talk a lot of trash to some of the locals. Then we play
Daniel Jones, and then
Daniel Jones, and then
follow that up with Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah, Carson Wentz is trash. Like my boy actually hit me up yesterday. Shout out to my boy Dale. We actually might go to that game depending on, I don't know how many games I'm going to do. I'm just happy that you can actually go to games again, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm so happy. I keep telling people I'm going to this game, I'm going to that game. I'm definitely going to Washington. I'm definitely going to Philly, and I'm definitely going to the Jets. Now all those other games are up in the air, but I'm definitely going to those. But so like you said, we play Washington after the bye. We got the Giants at home on a Monday night. You got week 12, you got Indianapolis on the road, 1 p.m. game. Then you come back and you play week 13 in Atlanta. So another matchup that'll close up the series with Atlanta. Week 14, you got Buffalo at home. You got them at home though. 425 game. I mean, that like I said, that's gonna be a possible Super Bowl matchup. You know what I mean? Buffalo, with Josh Allen and the high-flying offense, and we'll see what this, what they're all about. Can they keep that success?
Weather by that time of the year, December in Buffalo. Oh, no, they got them at home.
Yeah, we got them at home. Yeah. See, like, we're not the Steelers. We're the Bucs, okay? Oh, we call the shots, all right? The league office knows what we want. We want these teams at home.
Oh man! And then you follow that up with you got Buffalo, and then you follow that up with New Orleans,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go to Carolina, New York, and then Carolina again. Carolina twice.
Yeah.
That's back to back. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, they finished off the schedule there. Like you said, Buffalo week 14, 15, the Saints, the Sunday night game. I hate the fucking Saints. We're going to beat the shit out of you guys. 16, Carolina on the road at
Jameis
New York.
revenge.
And then you close out, yep, Jameis revenge. And then you close out week 18 with Carolina at home. So, I mean, solid. Bucks got a chance to win, definitely. I think what was theirs? Theirs was over 11 games. I can definitely see them winning over 11 games. I mean, after looking at this schedule, I mean, I'm willing to put big dollars on the Bucks over 11 games, 11 wins for the season, man. Especially in this 18 game season now. I love it.
That's a good bet.
Yeah,
that is a good because if you just look at it based on quarterbacks. So when I look at betting football, I like to see the.
Oh yeah, it's all about quarterbacks, especially them like NFL and college football, and we'll get to it when the season comes. We'll break it down like people that know me know. Like I don't bet on football teams that don't have a quarterback.
Just look at October for the Bucks. Tua, Jalen Hurts, Chicago, maybe Jameis Taysom combination, and then Chicago. We'll see
the middle
if
of the season.
Yeah, if it's Andy Dalton. I don't know.
Yeah. Now I will say this: this Washington game, man, it has. I mean, like
Washington's
I said, playoff matchup. Washington has a tough defense, and Fitzpatrick can get hot. Fitzpatrick, that's why they got him, man.
They played him well with Heineke, so
yeah, like you said, they played him well with Taylor Heineke. Like I was hating life at that point. I'm like, who in the hell is this guy just running around? You know what I mean? But we were missing Devin White. I will say that we did have Kevin Minter, who's a solid backup. He did a good job, but he's not Devin White. So, and that changes a lot of things. And I think
Buck season's gonna be fun. I mean, they're gonna have a target because they're the champs. So everybody's gonna be gunning to beat them.
We ain't worried about that. I mean, shout out to Bucks Nation, man. Thanks for tuning in. But anyway,
or the players getting complacent because they're all champions now.
Oh no, Tom. This is Tom Brady. You're playing with any other team.
They have local commercials, car dealerships.
No, when you got Tom Brady on your team, man, and Tom tells you wake up and smell the coffee and run these fucking routes, like you know how Tom is, man. He don't care who the hell you are. He don't care if you Mike Evans. Mike Evans run your fucking route. He holds these guys accountable.
They got their coordinators back. So Byron's back.
Yeah,
and Todd
Bowles is back.
That never happens with a Super Bowl champion. You always lose one coordinator.
I mean, this is what happens when you got Tom Brady, man. I mean, these guys just want to win. So I mean, Z. We broke down our team schedule. So what are some of the games that you're looking forward to outside of Bucks Steelers? Those games.
So things that grab my eye. I mean, when I look at Week 1, Jets at Carolina. So Sam Darnold takes on the Jets.
Yeah, Sam back in his. Is it in
in Carolina?
So, okay, so at least he has him at home. I mean, he might show him something now. He got some weapons. But I mean, the kid Zach Wilson though, like, hey, I'm telling you, man, I think this guy is gonna be the best QB that comes out. I mean, I know that a lot of guys are saying Trevor Lawrence. Urban Meyer doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Like, the fact that you brought back Tim Tebow and you're playing him at tight end and you're doing this whole privilege thing where, like, hey, I know him, he's a gamer. We worked him out and he looked great. My coaches were gushing over him. Nobody wants to hear this shit, man. This is the NFL. You know what I mean? So
it's gonna be nuts. I mean, the other game is Cleveland at Kansas City.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's I love that match. Is that a night game?
That's a 4 o'clock. The 4 o'clock game on Sunday.
They should have flexed that game. So I know the Bucks. Well, the Bucks are. Who are the night games for Week 1?
The night game is Chicago and the Rams.
Come on, man. Chicago. Nobody wants to see Chicago, man.
That's the Monday night game.
That's weird.
Yeah. So that's So that Week 1, and then the Thursday night is Dallas and Tampa. So the Super Bowl banner unveiling, the traditional Thursday night game.
Yeah, I like this game in week 3, man. I like Green Bay. If barring Aaron Rodgers is with Green Bay, week 3, Green Bay at San Francisco. I mean, a lot of people are forgetting that San Francisco was 1 year out from going to the Super Bowl, and they had a lot of injuries last year. They like Bosa was hurt. A lot was
even before that, week 2, we got Kansas City at Baltimore. That's going to be a fun game.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a fun
Kansas City at Baltimore. That's the night game for Sunday night game, week 2.
I mean, I think it's going to be a hyped up game. I just don't. I mean, the Ravens do the same thing.
Always struggle with Kansas City.
Lamar has to develop as a passer, man. I know a ton of Ravens fans. Lamar just has to develop. He has to take that Josh Allen step, man.
I think he's like 1-4 against Mahomes.
Yeah.
So
they just play him well, man. The thing is, like I said, Lamar, you have to at some point. You can't just if your first or second read's not open and you can't throw the ball. You gotta throw it to these guys on the outside. They did draft well. I'm just not, I'm not really expecting big things out of the Ravens. I just think they're gonna win 10 or 11 games, go to the playoffs, and go home. I mean, that's just what they do. I'm looking at, but I mean, that's a solid game to watch.
Week 3, Bucks Rams are gonna be a good game.
Oh, Bucks Rams could be a great game. I love that game. Week 5, I love Buffalo and Kansas City. Week 5, AFC Championship game rematch at Kansas City, man. I mean, that's a hell of a game. Like, I'm really looking forward to seeing that one. So that's a great game. Like I said, the Buffalo at the Bucks, week 14 is solid. I like that game. And then I was looking at one other game. Oh, I was looking at the end of the season. Week 16, Jacksonville versus the Jets. I know, Z, you probably were looking like, Jacksonville? What the fuck are you talking about, Jacksonville? So that's a matchup of Trevor Lawrence, who's the number 1 overall pick, versus Zach Wilson, who's the number 2 overall pick. Two high profile.
And that's a lot. That's 17? Wow.
Yeah. No, what is that? Week 16? Week 16. So, yeah, Jaguars versus the Jets, week 16 in New York. Trevor Lawrence versus Zach Wilson. So we're going to see what the young guns got, man. Like I said, I mean, if Jay was here, we would definitely be talking about the Vegas. But we'll probably chat a little bit more with him about on the previous show with the schedule release.
We see them week 2 right off the bat.
Man, I just don't know what to expect from the Raiders, to be honest, man. They're talking about. I was reading an article. Now they're having a nightclub in the stadium. I mean, it's just crazy. I guess you got to give these fans something to do. I mean, other than watch the Raiders.
The Wynn Club. I think Steve Wynn is the one who's opening it in the stadium. That's crazy.
That is wild. So I mean, let's wrap up, man.
It's bigger than Dallas. I mean, their Vegas stadium. I can't imagine.
Oh, is it bigger than Dallas?
No, I'm talking about when it's full. The party in the Vegas stadium might be better than the perceived party in Dallas at Jerry World. I mean, just the atmosphere with the Vegas Strip right there, inside the stadium, outside the stadium, partying all week for the game to come. I mean, Vegas is going to be.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be lit for sure. I mean,
because last year they didn't have that.
Fire. Yeah,
no fans last year. This is going to be the first taste of Vegas.
Yeah, people just be careful when you go out there, man. Like, COVID is still real, whether you got your shot or not. I mean, it's not saying it's a lifesaver. You know what I mean? Like, some people say, "Hey, I got my vaccination. I can do anything I want." No, you can't, man. You go out there thinking that you're gonna die. You gotta think of the other person who may not have theirs. I mean, it's not only about you; it's about everybody else too. Exactly. So stay safe, man. I want to be, because we're a sports podcast, but I just want, healthy people.
We all want to be back at the games, going crazy, rooting our teams on.
Yeah.
And having our arguments of who's got the better team.
Yeah, and it's always gonna be the Bucks. Remember that. But let's chat about these bets, man. So I think last week, man. Hey, look, guys, if you listen, the kid Sam is winning big bread because he listens. Look, I told you I gave him to you. You didn't listen. If you didn't listen, then I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, a few people listen, and you probably won big dollars. I gave you the Nets over the Spurs. I said lay big dollars on that. And then tonight, which is Wednesday night the 13th, Thursday night the 13th, I told you to put big bread on the Bucks money line or whatever spread so have you over the Indiana Pacers, and look what happened. Look what happened. Like I'm telling you, man, I'm giving you these bets, man. You really got to play them. So I mean, let's look at some new bets for the upcoming week, man. So, let me look here. Anything you looking at, Z?
So, again, this week's going to be tricky because it's the end of the season. Not everybody's still alive to make the playoffs. Some teams will be tanking for more ping pong balls in the draft lottery. But as we close the season, if we go to Saturday, it's there. I mean, there's some good games. I like the Suns over the Spurs.
This is Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday 2:00 afternoon game. Suns at the Spurs. I would be on Phoenix for that game, and then Nets and Bulls 1:00 game on Saturday. Nets over the Bulls. They're a different team with James Harden. With James Harden, they're tough. Then we move on to the Sunday games. Again, take a look at teams who are on the verge of fighting for playoff seeding versus teams who are out of it. And so when you look at this, Hawks are playing the Rockets. Rockets are done, tanked out, finished. Hawks are trying to get up to right now they're the 4 seed, trying to move up. So they may, depending on where they stand, they've won a lot. They beat the Wizards back to back. Hawks have been on a roll, and Trae Young has been doing well. So definitely Hawks over Rockets, and then I've been fading the Magic. So Sixers over the Magic as well.
Yeah, those are some good ones.
Yeah, so just fade the bad teams. That's where you're going to make your money. I like first half bets, so you don't have to deal with the fishy business at the end of the game. Nice first half bets, good teams against the scrubs, and that typically happens more times than not. The scrub teams get hammered by halftime, and you could cash at halftime, so that's always good.
Yeah, most definitely, man. So I mean, good bets. So for me, I'm looking at so here on Friday the 14th. I don't really like a ton of games. I mean, there's some games that I like, but I'm looking for value. I mean, you always got to look for value when you do sports bets, right? So I mean, you got the Clippers versus the Rockets. The money line is gonna be crazy. The spread's gonna be crazy. I don't love that. I'll probably parlay that with a game.
First half is a good way.
But I do
to work around that.
Yeah, I do love though. I love the Warriors at home Friday night over the Pelicans. I don't think the spread's gonna be crazy because they're similar in record. Zion's out. Brandon Ingram's probably not gonna play. All these guys are not really playing for the Pelicans, so I love that on Friday night the 14th. Now moving to Saturday, I do see a few games that I actually loosely love. So I love the Nets on Saturday the 15th. They're going to be at home playing the Bulls, and I think they already beat the Bulls. They actually already smashed the Bulls. So I love that. I don't think the money line's going to be crazy. I don't think the spread's going to be crazy. James Harden's back. The Nets, keep this in mind. The Nets are still fighting, man, because Philly lost tonight. Philly actually lost to Miami. They can still, work the way up. I don't think they'll be able to drop the number 1, but maybe they can move to number 2 and catch the Bucks or something like that. But I mean, I love the Nets because, like I said, they're gonna be James Harden's back, Kyrie Irving's back. They want to build some chemistry going to the playoffs. I also was looking at here it is. On that same night, Saturday the 15th, I love the Bucks money line at home over the Heat. The Heat, they're trying to get the wheels spun up. They are a solid team. They did in the Eastern Conference, they did come out on the other side. I just don't think they have enough for the Bucks and Giannis and those guys. The Heat are deep though. They got shooters and they got a few pieces. So I do love the Bucks though. And then it was another game. let me transfer over here on Sunday. So on Sunday the 16th, oh, I was looking at the Nets. So Nets over the Cavs at home. So I love that. I don't, you know, I don't see putting a ton of money on it, but I think something solid will do. You got the 76ers over the Magic. Look for value in that. And then I do like the Bucks. Bucks again, my betting team, man. So Bucks on the road.
You got them on auto bet.
Yeah, hey, I'm just telling. I'm trying to give these guys help them make some money, man. Bucks on the road over the Bulls. Like I said, I mean, Bucks can possibly move up to the number 1 seed. You know, if Philly starts dropping. So, I mean, those are my bets. I hope you guys play them. I hope you guys listening. I hope you guys did bet on the Nets over the Spurs. I hope you guys did bet on, the Bucks, tonight's game over Indiana. But that concludes our show. Thanks for listening. Like I said, next show we'll be having a special guest on Aaron Mercadel from North Dakota State. He's going to come chatting with us, and we're very happy to have him. And then Jay will be back with us as well. So take it easy, everybody, and we'll see you next show.